Morning, guys. I have a new story. So this story is about a wife who left her husband because he fell into an addiction, and once he recovered, she wanted him back, but he no longer wanted to be with her. So this wife says that she grew up very Christian. She had never been around any kind of substance abuse. So when this happened, it was very hard for her to deal with this. She didn't know how, and she didn't want to deal with it. She says that her husband was a very hardworking man. He worked 2 jobs. She was a stay-at-home mom. She had 2 kids, and he had always been a great husband. But she started noticing that he, was just acting different. He always worked a lot, but it seemed like he was very tired. He started losing a lot of weight. He started looking sick, and she really started to question things once they started having financial issues. She says that he was the one that would take care of all the finances in the home. So she didn't really know what was going on. She says that when he started losing a lot of weight, she started thinking he was sick. She would ask him, and he would tell her that he was trying to lose weight, that he was just really busy. It started getting to the point where he wouldn't come home. And she finally had enough, and she sat him down. She asked him what was wrong, and he came clean. She says that when he finally told her, he was terrified and he was crying and he was very apologetic, and he told her that he met someone at work that introduced him to a substance that could help him get more energy. He tried it a couple times and he didn't think nothing of it until it became an everyday thing, and he became very addicted to it. He says he tried to get off it a couple times and he just couldn't. He was trying to do his hardest to not create any problems at home, but it got out of hand. She says that she was in shock because he never came home under the influence. He was, doing everything he had to do still, minus the losing weight and the not coming home here and there. But he would tell her it was because of work, so she didn't think nothing of it. So she was in shock, and she says that she was so angry. And the first thing that popped to her head was her parents, because her parents were not going to be happy about that. Their church, their friends. She just started thinking about what everybody else would think and the disappointment that they would feel. So her first instinct was to kick him out. She said she kicked him out. She told him that he needed to go and get help, and that she was not able to help him with that. And once he recovered, he could come back home. She says that her husband begged her to not kick him out. He asked her for help, and she just didn't know how to help him, so she kicked him out. He ended up going to his parents' house, and his parents really supported him. They ended up finding him a rehab. He went to rehab for 9 months. He fully recovered. While he was in rehab, she says that he was allowed visitors every so often, but she never went to go see him. She never took the kids to go see him. She just was not able to. She was very upset because she had to pick up the slack while he was, in rehab. Financially, she says that his parents did help her and her parents helped her, but she still had to do all these things that she never had to deal with. And not only that, but she had to be the only parent to her kids. So she says that the day came when he was released from rehab, and he did call her asking for her to pick him up, and she decided not to go. She told them that he needed to prove to her that he could be sober outside of rehab, for him to get a job, for him to get his life back in order for her to take him back. She says that he ended up, staying with his parents. He ended up recovering fully. He ended up getting a job. He got really close to a church. It was not a church of her liking, but, he did a lot of good. He started getting really involved in his program where he would help other people recover. He would go to meetings every day. He just he was doing really good for himself, and he found a really good support system. She says that throughout his recovery journey, he was always trying to get back with her. He was very apologetic to her. As soon as he started working, he started helping her. He admired her a lot, and he showed it to her a lot. And she was just so angry at him because she found out a lot of things that he did while he was under the influence that he you know,
Okay. So I mean, I don't think this woman loved her husband. You know what I mean? Because if you love someone, bro, like I'm telling you right now, like if I love a woman and she's on drugs, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to help her, right? And if she can't help herself, that's when I can like abandon her because I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help you, and you're not trying to help yourself, right? But now this man was looking for help. This man was crying for help. This man went to rehab, and this woman was just like, I'm gonna kick you out anyway, even if you're looking for help. And that's not love, guys. That's not love. I don't care what you say. That's not love. Let's keep it pushing, though.
was with other women, that he drained their bank account, that, a lot of things that she was very ashamed of and very upset about. So she just was trying to heal as well. She says that she got a couple calls from his mom asking her, to be involved in his recovery, that he really needed his wife. And she says that it made her really upset because no one seemed to understand her side, like what she was going through. And she just needed time away from him. She says that about 4 years passed, and finally one day he confronted her and he asked her, okay, I did everything you asked from me. I have been sober for 3 years. I have a job. I have everything you have asked for. When am I going to be able to come home? And she says that in the moment she realized that she was not ready. So she told them, I don't think I'm ever going to be ready for you to come back home. So they talked and they agreed that the best thing was to get a divorce. She says that he took it really well, which kind of, caught off guard, because he had been trying so hard, but it seemed like he was just over it. So that kind of upset her, but she, went along and filed for divorce. She says that while they were going through the divorce, he was very respectful, very kind. He wasn't angry. So it just threw her off. She says that someone told her that he was actually talking to someone from his church, and she immediately felt a lot of jealousy and anger, and she started to contemplate if she made the right decision, because he was a good man and he had been a good man for so long, and he made a mistake, and she just started to really question if this was what she wanted to do. She said that she started talking to him and telling him that maybe they should try again, and he said no. He said that he was done, that he thinks that out of love for her and respect for her, the best thing is for him to let her go, that he doesn't think he's ever gonna be enough for her, so he didn't want to. She says that made it very hard for her, and she continued to try, and she decided to start getting involved in his things, but by that time he didn't want her involved anymore. Like, he was already over it. So she says that the divorce finalized, and that was it. And he ended up dating the person that he was talking to, and they're doing very well to this day. She says that she sees him and he's even better to his wife now than he was to her. So she's alone, she's still healing. She says that it was very traumatizing to her, but she feels like she went about it the wrong way, that maybe she was a little bit too harsh. All her family tells her that she did the right thing, but that she should have fought for her marriage. His parents were
Facts.
really upset with her because they told her that they were very disappointed in the fact that she just didn't support their son when he needed her the most. So yeah, what do you guys think? First of all,
This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. Like the fact that she wants him back, it's just crazy because you're the one who kicked him out when he was at his lowest. Now that he's at his highest, he has a new girl. Now you're jealous. You want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? And this is just jealousy. It's not even about love and or anything. It's about the jealousy. You know what I mean? Because this woman doesn't love this man. We already know that. But anyway, that's it for today. My name is RJ Godfella, and this is the RJ Godfella Chats. If you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. Peace, I'm out.